Hello, Queens. I am so excited to spend just some one on one time with you today. It has been a hot minute since I've done a solo episode and recorded some things for you specifically. I have just had wonderful guests on the show recently and have loved being able to really shine the spotlight on them and all of the cool things that they're doing. And today I am going to share a little bit more behind why I've been so heavily focused on the guests and not on my own stuff, because there's been a lot going on behind the scenes that I am looking forward to sharing with you. Because, we always talk about intention, we talk about goal setting, we talk about putting things in motion that allow us to really chase after our dreams. And when you do that, it's amazing when like the universe and God listens and delivers. And it's like, oh my gosh, there's so much going on. And so that's really the theme of what I wanted to talk to you about today, because a couple of years ago, I got really intentional. I mean, I've always been intentional, right? We know that. Like, I love goals, I love success, I love accomplishing things, I love leveling up all of the time. And one of the things that I really, really, really wanted was to be able to use my voice to create change and impact people on a larger scale. And so, during the pandemic, when everything kind of hit the fan, I started this podcast. I, surrounded myself with people that could help me get to the next level, right? Right. Just like I serve in that capacity in so many people's lives with my clients and our community members, I needed that for myself. So I started to put the wheels in motion. I started to get really clear on what I wanted the next couple of years to look like, what opportunities I wanted. I've always wanted to write a book. I'm so grateful to have that opportunity right now and to be knee deep in the manuscript writing process, which, oh my gosh, I will write a whole blog on that. And I will definitely record episodes about that experience as I start to surface from that. But also I wanted to get back on stage, right? As soon as the world opened back up again, I really, really, really wanted to take the new lessons and the new guidance and the new inspiration and motivation and lessons learned. I really wanted to put those messages on stage again and to be able to share those with audiences across the country in hopes that I could help them navigate their next stage and phase of business and life. And so by doing that, right, I set those intentions, right? I wanted to be on stages again. I wanted to get a book deal. Those things started to materialize. And, as it seems to happen most of the time, it comes in ebbs and flows, right? Like you get a whole surge of opportunities, and then sometimes it's a little bit quieter than others, but those are the times to really hunker down and do the work and continue to make forward momentum. So anyways, back it up a little bit. September and October, right? Very full months, crazy blessings. And it seemed like everything was kind of stacking itself. Like I got my book deal in August. I had 3 different speaking engagements in different parts of the country in September. Remember, I also work, in addition to having my own agency and amazing team at AWC, I also work full time for Advanced Recovery Systems. And that is a very focused effort, requires a lot of me on a daily basis. I have to show up high vibe and fully focused in order to be able to do those things. So that's going on, right? We're getting ready to open another center. And it seemed like all of these blessings were coming at the same time. And when I saw that starting to happen and materialize in like July and August, and I knew these dates were already on the books. I got invited to speak at Dreamforce, which is Salesforce's conference. It's like a mega deal out in San Francisco. Was so happy about that. Jeb Lund extended the invitation for me to speak on the outbound stage to a room full of just ambitious salespeople, which those are my people. I loved it. But it was a new keynote as well. I was speaking at the Orlando Women's Conference about a topic I care deeply about, mental health. That was a different presentation. And then I had some other things that were materializing from like a brand partnership perspective. I've had this opportunity to partner with Thinkific and launch their new communities feature. So all of these like really, really, really good things. But I knew that in order to be able to show up fully and to show up focused, I had to create space, right? I had to do the things that I wanted to do. So I want to kind of bullet point to you what happened, over the last several months and how I was able to get those things across the finish line and continue to write the book and work on new keynotes and all these other things. Because one of the most frequently asked questions is like, how do you get all of this stuff done, right? Like, do you sleep? And the answer is yes, a lot of hours, a lot more than what you probably think. But everything is done with intention and purpose. So the first thing right away, intention. When you think about the intentions that I set 2 years ago, the intention that I set a few months ago, it was to make sure that I was going to stay super focused and I was not going to get overwhelmed in the process. So that was the first thing that I did for myself. I made that promise. I was like, these are the blessings you pray for. This is what you've been working so hard for. Let's make sure that we don't get overwhelmed in the process, because if I'm overwhelmed, I'm not going to enjoy any of it. And then what the heck am I doing? Right? Like, the whole point is to enjoy the journey, right? Not to be stressed out or run myself rampant and get exhausted and overwhelmed and burnt out. So that was the first thing. I set the intention that I wasn't going to be overwhelmed by the intentions that I had already set, right? Of like doing the things and going after these amazing opportunities. The next thing that I did was that I created the space. So when I started this episode, I was talking about how we had a lot of guests on, right? So one of the things that we did over the summer, my team at AWC, and She Believes She Could, I've got 6 amazing women that help me make this thing happen, right? All of it. And my director of momentum, Jennifer, was really, really good about getting all of our guests booked over the summer, so that by the time really like August hit, I was pretty much done recording all of season 3 and most of season 4. So that was awesome, right? So it meant batch recording. It meant carving out time and space. It meant, doing definitely more interviews than what I normally do in a current month. But it was, again, kind of the forward thinking, the future casting of like, we've got to do this so that I can show up and I can just focus on the things that I need to be focused on and not let other things like the podcast and everything else that I love creating go by the wayside. Okay. So that was number 2, creating the space. The next thing was that I had to make sure that I was taking really, really, really good care of myself, right? We've talked about this on this show before. I had a heck of a battle with burnout last year. I refuse to allow myself to get overwhelmed anymore to that degree ever again. It was horrible. It took a massive toll on me physically, mentally, emotionally, and I needed to do everything I can do to surround myself with support and help and guidance and all of the things, right? I'll get into that a little bit further in this episode, but most importantly, from a physical and mental state, I wanted to make sure that I was preserving my energy, that I was restoring myself enough throughout the day, right? Because I pour into people all day long, whether it's my clients, whether it's my team members, whatever it may be, that is what I do. And so that requires a lot of me, in addition to all of these other things that were going on, right? And once you start to add in travel, once you start to add in presentations, being on stage in front of a lot of people, it's a different energy mix. And it can definitely be depleting if you're not restoring and taking care of yourself, right? So in addition to my morning workout, which is not that intensive. I don't want you guys to think I'm like going to the gym for 2 hours, because that's not the case. It's very short, gets my body and blood moving, right? So that I can start my daily practice, right? So made sure I committed to my daily workout every day, made sure I did not skip my meditation. Even if it's 10 or 15 minutes, it allows me to get centered and focused. And again, like prioritize what's most important in that moment, how I want to show up, what I want the day to be like. That had to happen. Taking advantage of the weekends to, go get a vitamin drip if I needed to, or, I actually scheduled a facial. I took a day off of work, right? And I just took care of me, which I needed to do because so much is expected of me, right? So that one day was like rocket fuel for the rest of the month. And it made such a big difference for how I even felt about myself, right? I gave myself this gift of time to take care of me, which made me feel good and made me feel like I was honoring the commitment to myself, which in turn, residual effects, all positive. So that was the next thing, taking really good care of me, right? So with all that travel, I definitely did a couple of vitamin drips. I got, facial massage. I did the things, right? I took the time that I needed for me. I committed to my morning routine. I made that, I cleared the space, right? We talked about that. So all of these things. The next thing was that I surrounded myself with incredible support. So I have already mentioned that I have this rockstar team with AWC. I've got an amazing team at ARS that I can depend on, that show up, incredible humans that are we are all marching to the beat of the same drummer, right? We're very focused on saving lives and creating change and just being innovative. And it's just amazing. Love my people. But I also have an amazing tribe of support, right? So I have coaches and mentors and people that are in my corner that are helping me do the things that I want to do. And I always say, right, never take advice from somebody that hasn't done what it is that you're trying to do. And I believe wholeheartedly in that. And so I've got amazing coaches that are helping me through the book writing process, through the book launch process, through the brand process. And I specialize in branding, but I think sometimes the hardest thing to do is brand yourself. And I've known that I've been going through this evolution now, especially the last couple of years, as I've gotten clear about what I want the next 3 to 5 to look like. And it was really, really, really important for me to surround myself with people that could help me continue to make forward progress, take away the questions that I had, right? And give me the answers that I needed so I could keep moving forward with confidence, right? And it doesn't have to be hard. I say this all of the time. Sometimes I think we get in our own way. We complicate things. We make it harder when really, if you put the right coaches in your corner, you can go farther, faster, not deal with the overwhelm, and you enjoy the process so much more because you got people in your corner that are like so invested in your success. That's why I love coaching. That's why I always have coaches in my corner or experts or people that are helping me get done the things that I want to get done. So I asked for help, I asked for support, and I surrounded myself with amazing people that are helping me get to where I wanted to go. And then most importantly, I celebrated the journey, right? So each of these things that has happened over the last couple of months has been years in the making, right? So it's not an overnight success by any means. I have been working my little tail off for years, decades, really, creating this opportunity for myself to be able to share my story through a book, right? Creating the opportunity to share my message from stages, being here, showing up for you guys all of the time, right? So this has been gradual, right? It's been accumulating over time. And sometimes when you're just focused on one step in front of the next, and I love this 1% better mentality, and celebrating wins is a big part of this. And sometimes it's even hard for me to remember to do it. So you've got to celebrate the micro wins, just like you celebrate the macro wins. And thankfully, some of my coaches were the ones that were reminding me like, hey, let's pause for the cause here and celebrate the fact that you wanted to write a book since you were 18 and just got this deal. And you got an advance, you can write, you can focus on this. This is huge, right? Like, let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate each one of these speaking opportunities. Let's celebrate the fact that through all of these, you now have all these additional new keynotes because we worked on them, right? Speaker coach, come in, help me get that done, right? So we've got all these new opportunities that I can continue to propel forward, and I continue to make an impact on a much grander scale, which has always been my mission and purpose, is to create change and impact on a larger scale. And so I am so thrilled that I was reminded of that. And I encourage you to keep that win list. I have my team do it every quarter. I encourage you to do it on the regular. Celebrate the micro wins because they lead to the macro, right? Small wins stack up and create massive impact in your life. And I am so excited about this next chapter in my life, in this next chapter in your life. We are closing out the year. We are getting ready for 2023. We are so prepared for what's next, right? Because we continue to show up. We continue to do the work. We continue to do a checkup from the neck up. We continue to honor ourselves, our purpose, our intention, what we want for our lives, right? And that's what gets me so excited about this next evolution, right? So the book goes to the publisher in December. Yay. So excited. I'm officially halfway through writing, which, oh my gosh, right? That's been a therapeutic process and experience in and of itself. But then I get to turn my attention to the book launch. I get to turn my attention to the 2023 offering that I'm giving to this community, right? And I'm so excited about it because I know that the women that say yes to themselves and they want that intensive one-on-one attention from me, they are going to get poured into in a way that I am so excited about and so lit up from the inside because I've gone through a transformation too. And I love to share and I love to give that to others and I love to pour into people and help them elevate and become the best version of themselves. And so you can bet that I am going into 2023 with fire and focus and just this excitement about what is to come because I believe in you 1,000%. And my goal is that you do too. And my hope is that 2023 is a year for the record books for you and that you decide right now, not on January 1st, right? Right now, that you are going to do what you need to do for you to make it the best year of your life. No excuses, no playing small, no regrets, none of it. We're going into it saying, I'm going to win, right? I'm going to be abundant. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to be wealthy. I'm going to be all the things because I deserve it, because I've done the work and I've shown up and I have exceeded my own expectations. That is my intention for you. I hope that's yours too. And I would love to be a part of your circle of support. Please reach out to me. I'm going to include some links in the show notes today because I really would love to hear from you. I'd love to know what's on your heart, what's on your mind, what you're looking for, how I can support you. And certainly, if you are interested in that one-on-one experience with me, I have 3-month offerings, a 6-month offering, and a 12-month offering, meaning I am going to be in your corner, filling up your cup all year long, if that's your intention, but those are very, very, very limited. So please make sure you grab the link in the bio, you grab the link in my show notes, either on Instagram or here. And I will make sure that we schedule some time so I can hear from you. And if I'm not the right fit, here's the best thing. I'm going to find somebody else that is, because you putting that intention out into the universe that you want more for yourself, you deserve to have support and I will help you find it. Okay. So I love you. I care for you deeply. I am cheering for you. I am excited for you. And don't forget about what we talked about today, right? So making the intention to not get overwhelmed as you experience transformation, right? Creating the space, the time to work on you for you, taking really, really, really good care of yourself. Because as my mom says, none of this is possible if you don't take care of yourself, right? Like that's the same message I'm giving you too. Surrounding yourself with support because you deserve to go farther, faster with less overwhelm and to know that you have somebody in your corner. And celebrating the transformation and appreciating the journey as you go. Okay. I love you. Have a great week. I believe in you. I'm cheering for you. Don't be a stranger. Let me know how I can help you. And please share this episode with those that need it too. I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Well, I hope you loved this show. If you did, please head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. It makes a big difference and helps a lot more queens who are chasing their dreams to find this show too. We work really hard on creating a quality production, and I want to make sure as many people that need to listen to it can. So we appreciate your help in advance. And of course, check out the show notes. We always include lots of great information in there, as well as links so that you can continue the conversation or access additional support or resources or the book recommendations from our guests. So please check that out. We would love for you to continue to stay engaged with our beautiful community. You can also access the She Believed She Could Facebook community from the link in the show notes as well. And you know we'll be continuing the conversation at Allison Walsh on Instagram. So please join us there. And remember, I believe in you 1000%. And my goal is that you do too. So please stay connected. Let me know how I can support you as you chase and accomplish your goals. I'm always happy to make a connection. Or maybe it's just to fill up your cup and tell you that you're an awesome queen that can accomplish anything that you set your mind to. So whatever you need, I'm here for you. I'm so excited for you. Stay focused, beautiful. It is all within reach and you deserve abundant success. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.